In 1095, a fervor unseen gripped Europe, a fervor that would shape continents and epochs. The stage was set, not in courts or castles, but in the hearts of men and women stirred by an idea: the liberation of Jerusalem. This was more than mere conquest. It was a call to arms resonating with divine urgency. Every peasant, knight, and cleric suddenly found themselves part of a celestial drama, each believing they were chosen to enact God's will. Pope Urban II, in a historic sermon at Clermont, ignited this zeal. He painted a vivid picture of the Holy Land overrun by non-Christians who defiled sacred grounds. His words were not merely an invitation, but a divine mandate, a clarion call that resonated through the echelons of medieval society. It was this call that would lead to one of the most significant mobilizations of military and spiritual might in history. The promise of spiritual redemption was a potent catalyst. It promised absolution from sins and eternal glory, transforming the crusade into a pilgrimage of penance and heroism. This was not warfare as usual. It was a sacred mission, a path to salvation paved with the hardships of travel and the perils of battle. The notion of fighting not for land or lord but for one's soul changed the very nature of conflict. This call to arms was further amplified by the conditions of the time. Famine and local strife made the prospect of leaving for distant lands appealing. For many, the crusade offered an escape from the hardships at home, a venture fraught with danger but rich in potential spiritual and material rewards. Thus began one of history's most dramatic undertakings, fueled by faith and fraught with unprecedented challenges. November 27, 1095, marked a pivotal moment in history. Pope Urban II stood before a gathered crowd at Clermont, France, and delivered a passionate plea that would echo through the ages. His speech was not merely persuasive, it was transformational, inciting thousands to take up the cross and march towards Jerusalem. The Pope's rhetoric skillfully blended visions of spiritual salvation with the harsh realities of Byzantine pleas for aid against Muslim advances. Urban's speech did more than call for military aid. It framed the crusade as an act of supreme piety. By promising indulgence and remission of sins, Urban II made the crusade a compelling prospect for all Christians, regardless of their social standing. Knights saw it as a path to glory, while peasants viewed it as a journey of faith. The Pope's ability to unite such diverse groups under a single cause demonstrates his profound influence. The call to arms also cleverly aligned with the political and social currents of the time. Europe was fragmented into petty lordships and kingdoms, where violence was rampant and the authority of the church was often challenged. By redirecting this martial energy towards a common external enemy, Urban II not only strengthened the church's position but also provided a valve for Europe's internecine tensions. Moreover, Urban's appeal was deeply rooted in apocalyptic imagery and the prophetic traditions of Christianity. He depicted the crusade as a battle between good and evil, a final confrontation before the anticipated return of Christ. This eschatological framing made the crusade not just a war for territory, but a cosmic battle for the soul of the world. This narrative was instrumental in mobilizing a vast array of forces, setting the stage for the trials and tribulations that would mark their journey to the Holy Land. The journey to Jerusalem was a colossal undertaking, fraught with perils that tested the mettle of the bravest souls. Crusaders had to traverse vast distances, enduring harsh climates and hostile territories. The route from Europe to the Holy Land was a patchwork of treacherous mountain passes, arid deserts, and unpredictable waters. Each leg of the journey brought new hardships, from scarcity of food and water to attacks by hostile forces. Despite these challenges, the Crusaders' resolve remained unshaken. This steadfastness was partly due to their profound faith, which imbued them with a sense of divine protection and purpose. Stories abound of miraculous sightings and holy visions that bolstered the spirits of the weary travelers. These tales, whether real or imagined, served as vital morale boosters, weaving the crusade into the fabric of divine providence. The logistical aspect of the crusade was an unprecedented feat of medieval organization. Moving thousands of men along with horses, supplies, and siege equipment required meticulous planning and coordination. The success of these logistical efforts not only reflects the strategic acumen of the crusade leaders, but also the collective will of the crusaders, who often had to improvise and adapt to the shifting dynamics of their long journey. Moreover, the journey itself was transformative. Along the way, alliances were forged and rivalries ignited as European knights interacted with Byzantine strategists and encountered various Muslim factions. These interactions, though often contentious, were integral to the crusading effort, blending a variety of military traditions and tactics. The journey did not just lead to the gates of Jerusalem. It was a crucible that forged a pan-European identity, setting the stage for the epic battles that would soon unfold.